So, Daniel, the LIBRE initiative.
Yes.
You're obviously coming at this from a perspective of reaching conservative Latino voters and growing the electorate. Tell us about the LIBRE initiative. Tell us what plans you have. What does 2014 mean from your perspective?
Well, we feel it's important. I think more important than demographic, economic status, educational status, is that Latinos get a sense of ownership in the process. Look, Puerto Rico has high participation rates when it comes to voting. That's because they own the island. They feel that they're part of the community, that they can control their destiny, that they can control the political outcomes and policy outcomes of the island. And so we need to create the same environment, the same feel here. And the LIBRE initiative does that. We engage Latinos by talking about market principles, by talking about the virtues of capitalism, of free market, of rule of law, of why we should have a limited government and check the power of those who would govern us, that this remain a country of the people, by the people, and for the people. And so by doing that, by engaging in churches, in chamber of commerces, in colleges and universities, wherever Latinos congregate and meet, we feel that we can engage folks and do that kind of proper outreach to get Latinos to come out and vote and, in fact, control the destiny of their political outcomes and policy outcomes. Now, obviously, we have a conservative perspective. There is, by every measure, no argument that the Democrat Party has benefited from the Latino vote for the longest time. Every presidential race, the Republican Party candidate has never enjoyed a majority of the Hispanic vote. George Bush set the high water mark at 45%. That's a given. Look, I think what's important here is that we understand that this has been a conversation within the Latino community that has been dominated by the left. To their credit, folks on the left have engaged, have outreached, have been in the communities, have seen the value of the growing demographic that you so eloquently spoke of in the Latino community, and they've capitalized on that by sending resources and people and engaging the Latino vote. So what I have seen as a political observer as well, Arturo, is that on the conservative side, there's sort of been a dereliction of duty of actually advancing the principles that you espouse, that you believe are going to make societies better, that is going to improve the lives of those who are at the bottom. What are those policies that generate prosperity, and what are those policies that generate poverty? We should be having an honest conversation within the conservative community about those issues directly with the Latino community. And so I think the Republican Party has sort of had a bad approach to this. They just felt that the principles of economic freedom, the principles of the free market would sort of sell itself to the community. Because look at who we say we are. 33% of us, according to a Pew poll, say that we self-identify as conservatives. 32% self-identify as moderates, and only 30% as liberal. So the vast majority is actually agreeing with you at any given time in the Latino community, which is the whole swing effect that you're talking about. But we haven't been courted effectively. And so if the left has the unions that are engaging Hispanics, Hollywood celebrities that are promoting progressive policies, liberal policies, if they have obviously the party that has dedicated resources and time with that, if Univision is running sort of left slanted news packages on policy on an 8-to-1 ratio, the universities are much more liberal, then of course you're going to get the outcomes that you're getting. My point is this: Latinos have not rejected conservatives or Republican candidates because of what they believe, because of the principles. They've rejected them because there's been an absence of this conversation about the virtues of the free market, about self-reliance, about hard work, about what makes America strong. So we aim to drive that conversation. Even I think in a state like Texas, where 44% self-identify as Democrats and only 16% self-identify as Republican, there are massive gains to be made by conservative candidates because I think there's been so much open field, for the Democrats for so long that now, as conservatives who engage, Susana Martinez, Brian Sandoval, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, all Hispanics who went up to the highest offices in the Republican Party based on Republican votes. There is opportunity if they engage. There is opportunity. And this, by the way, is the generation of Ronald Reagan that sort of came up and was influenced by them. So I'll wrap up by saying that the conversation needs to be driven by the Republican Party, by conservative candidates, and they actually stand to gain much more than I think the Democrat Party, because they are so far behind that if they actually increase the percentages just a little bit, they stand to gain a lot from the Latino community, which of course makes us powerful.
Thank you.